guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-filled review of Illuminae by Kristoff and Amie Kaufman. Now, I'm gonna start off by saying that this book is an amazing book. I loved it so much. I have the physical copy here, but I did listen to it via audiobook from Audible. And I know a lot of people say Audible is the best, and it's amazing, and it is amazing, but I'm actually on their free trial right now, so I got to listen to Illuminae for free, and I'm also, starting today, I'm also going to be listening to Gemina on Audible as well, so I'm going to be trying to marathon read these two books. I'm already finished with Illuminae. I'll be starting Gemina today, and hopefully in the next couple weeks I could obtain Obsidio. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I'll be listening to the audiobook of Obsidio, but for people who are having trouble reading this format, because not gonna lie, at first I didn't like Illuminae. Like, I put it down multiple times. I was gonna pick it back up again when, thank the gods, Audible kept on giving me advertisements for Audible, and finally I'm all like, okay, why is everyone and their mother doing Audible? Like, a lot of the booktubers I watch use Audible. They're talking about free trials, and you could get, like, I got the first book for free by downloading their app first, so I got Illuminae for free, and then whenever you're looking for other Audible books, they won't give them to you via the app anymore. They'll make you go to their website, and on the website you have to say that you want to do their 30-day free trial, and they give you a second book for free, but after that you have to pay full price for the audiobooks, which I don't think is that bad, to tell you the truth. Like, audiobooks are pretty cool, especially this one. Like, even if you hate audiobooks with every fiber of your being, like, this one is definitely a great audiobook. It's full cast, so they talk like they're on a radio show, and it's kind of like picturing a movie in your head. Like, I know most books do that, but this gives you such a good vision. Like, I don't know how to say it, like, visionary illusions that make you feel like you're actually inside this book, and it's pretty damn cool. Like, just go listen to the audiobook. I totally suggest this. I gave this book a 9.8 out of 10 stars because I did have trouble getting into the physical copy of Illuminae, but this book is just so beautiful inside and out. Like, the audiobook is beautiful, there are multiple voice actors for it, but even if you don't purchase the audiobook, there are still goodies in the physical book for you, which is why I got both of them. Like, at first I wanted to read this book because look how gorgeous this cover is, and if you slip off the cover, it's just like, it looks like a file, and it's pretty damn cool. I'm gonna put this back because this is actually one of my most favorite book covers ever. But just look at the formats in this book. Even if you don't have audiobook, it's still a pretty damn cool book to show off to your friends and stuff. And ooh, God, like, I totally, think my most favorite image is the one at the ending. Like, I love that image. I don't know why I love it. It's so cool. So if you haven't got this book yet, I would go out, I would read the book. If you're not into reading the books, get the audiobook. It is so worthwhile and so worth the time it takes to listen to it. Like, I felt like I was in an 11-hour movie, and I didn't even mind. Okay? This book and audiobook, they're amazing. Go out, Get it? Get it? But, my fellow book lovers, that was the end of the spoiler-free section, so if you have not read Illuminae yet, I would go off, I would read it, and then I would come back and view my spoiler-filled thoughts on it. I did give it a 9.8 out of 10 stars, like I said. I will be linking my Goodreads down below so you could follow my progress on my reading, because I have read more than this, I swear. It's just that I don't really have a lot of time to do book reviews, and I want to get back to doing book reviews. So I will probably be doing spoiler reviews for Gemina and Obsidio when I obtain them, but for right now, it's just going to be Illuminae. So go ahead and watch this one. I won't be spoiling Gemina or Obsidio because I've not read those yet. Yeah, I don't even have a copy of Obsidio yet. Yes, how behind I am on this trend. Like, this book came out, what was it, 3-4 years ago, and I'm just barely getting to it. Like, I need it in my life. Like, this book is so great. Great, but bye, spoiler! Non-spoilery people. Okay, are they gone? Okay, so I'm gonna start off with, like I usually do, with the characters. Now, because I don't have a lot of time to talk in these videos, like, I could spend multiple hours gushing about this book with the world. Like, I feel like I'm on top of the world with this book. It's just so great. So I'm only gonna be talking about a few of the key characters in Illuminae that I actually remember. I know there's a lot of side characters, and there's, like, a full cast of characters. Like, this book, like, it follows Katie and Ezra, but we're gonna be introduced to more people in flippin' Gemina, and even more people after that in Obsidio. So it's like, these books are just, man, they're great. Like, they're gonna follow, like, different people. What I found out, because I did have the pleasure of actually marathoning these series because I did wait so long, which is, like, the upside of not getting to these books when I do, because there's no wait for these anymore. I could just obtain them whenever I want to, but I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had got on the hype train whenever it was first starting, because, God, this book is so amazing, and I can't believe that I didn't get it I got it when it first came out, but I can't believe I didn't read it when it first came out, because I thought I wasn't gonna like it. I only got it because so many people were hyping it up. I mean, I'm not a science fiction person, and this book is just amazing. And how ironic, when I started reading Illuminae, that I opened my Outcrate yesterday and I got a candle from Gemina. The Illuminae files. This one's of Gemina. But how crazy is that? Like, mind blown. Very sly Outcrate, very sly. But the Outcrate actually was what I got to put me in the mood, because I've been in a very weird place. Like, I've been wanting to read more and more science fiction lately, because I think I'm just really bored of reading the same thing. So I opted for a change. I decided to read science fiction. So these books, they follow all kinds of characters. Like, the first book, the one we're reviewing, it follows Katie and Ezra. And whenever I was first reading this, I didn't know Katie's name was spelled, like, Cady. Why? I thought that was pretty cool. And Ezra is, like, one of my favorite names ever, not gonna lie. But I think I'll start off with talking about these two characters, like Katie and Ezra as a whole. Like, if I had to pick who I liked more between Katie and Ezra, at first it was Ezra, because I just liked how funny Ezra was and how intriguing he was. I want to know more about Ezra. But this is really, like, Katie's book. Like, Ezra is not even in this book for, like, half the book. Because we think we're talking to Ezra, but some of Ezra's conversations with Katie is actually Aiden. And we'll get to Aiden in a second, but, like, you don't even know during half this book that we're not actually legitimately talking to Ezra, but you do have that feeling that it's not really him. Like, okay, I know this guy, and I know I've only known him for, like, a hot second, but I think he would be more upset about losing his friends and stuff, and it just didn't feel like he was. It was very weird, I should say, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, why is he talking like this? Like, I wanted to actually legitimately believe that it was Ezra, and not Aiden or someone else hacking in to his emails, because I know Katie is, like, this extraordinary hacker and prodigy, but I feel like Aiden, like, anyone else could have done it too. It was like this book. I can't even explain it most days, but it's, like, so intriguing. And then we switch to Kate, and then most of the book follows Katie, and at first, Katie, I thought she was gonna be, like, a really snobbish, stuck-up prodigy. Like, one of those prodigies that just believe that they're so great at everything and no one could touch them. And while Katie does have this arrogant air around her, it's funny arrogance. It's not, like, annoying arrogance. Like, Katie, it surprised me that she was actually really funny, and during the parts that humanized her made me feel for her, and then she's just so, like, I didn't know she was gonna be so amazing and badass, and she actually hides her skills at first until they come out into the open, and it's just, it was just, like, Katie is just my fave right now. This might actually be a contender of my favorite book of the year, guys. But I'm not gonna say it's gonna be my favorite book of the year, because A Reaper at the Gates by Sabah here, which is the third book of the Burn the Ashes series, is coming out this year too. So it'll be fun to see what book is actually gonna win my top spot. And it's only March. Guys, it's only March, so there's still a lot of contenders out there, but this book is so good. Just so good, and the audiobook is just so good, and I feel like I'm repeating words, but God, this book. Okay, so getting back to Katie, because I feel like I skipped Ezra, but let's be honest, Katie is, like, the star of this book. She is the main character mostly, besides the files and Aiden, because we do get Aiden's point of view, which is pretty cool as well. But I loved Katie's sarcasm and her human moments and her their interaction with each other, like Katie and Ezra when it wasn't Aiden, was pretty cute. Like, I love their relationship, and they're just, like, they're my little babies, and that scene in the end with them coming together after she thinks Ezra is dead. Like, when I thought Ezra was dead, whenever Aiden was all like, it was me from this point to this point, and now I gotta re-listen to what conversations were actually her and Aiden's. Because now I feel cheated in my Ezra and Katie moments. Like, I almost said Ezra and Arya, because every time I picture Ezra, I don't know why, but every time there was an Ezra part, I thought of Ezra from Pretty Little Liars, because that's the only other Ezra I know besides one of my friend's kids. Like, it's crazy. But, like, I love their relationship, and I love that Katie actually has pink hair. Pink hair, too, because as you could see, I'm into wild colors, too. I love experimenting with color in my hair. And I just feel like these characters, they just have so much depth to them. Even the side characters that we don't see for so long in the book, or just see briefly, they have awesome character development too. And it's so rare that side characters get character development and are well fleshed out, because we don't spend a lot of time with them. Maybe it's because I listened to the audiobook and got way more out of it than I feel like people who read the physical book get out of it. But that's just me. I'm not 100% sure. Did everyone who read the physical copy of this book get as much out of it as the audiobook listeners? Because I would really like to know. But going back to the characters, we have the artificial intelligence computer, which was named Aiden. And he was a part of the Alexander, and he was malfunctioning. He was glitching, and oh my god, Aiden is such a morally gray character. Like, how amazing is the offers to find a way to get me to feel for an artificial intelligence computer program. It's just like, it's so surreal. Like, I felt like he was an actual legit person instead of just a machine. He had feelings, and he really genuinely felt like he was protecting these people against the Lincoln, and he was malfunctioning. He was following orders, he was glitching, and God, it was just, it's so surreal. And how Aiden started to feel things for Katie. Like, I know there's probably ships out there for Aiden and Katie, which, I get it, because Aiden feels like such a real person, but he's also a computer, so I don't actually see that happening, but I do love Ezra and Katie. They're, like, my main OTP so far. Like, I haven't read about Hannah and Nick, nor have I read about Asha and Reese, which is kind of weird because I've been seeing the name Reese used in so many fantasy novels. Like, first I saw it on A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then the book I'm reading called Frostblood has a character named Reese, and now Obsidio is using Reese. Like, Reese is becoming a pretty popular name, and I don't know where it originated from, but it's pretty cool. I like it. But, Aiden, I hope I see Aiden more, and I know we're gonna see more of him. But I feel like I'm getting off topic. There's just so much to talk about and so little time in this video, guys. But then we have all the captains. I'm just gonna put them into the category of the captains, because I feel like there's just so many captains. So, like, the captain of the Alexander, I believe his name is Torrance. David Torrance. Like, I hated Torrance. But I did, like I said, this book makes you feel bad for characters that are evil, but they make you feel like they're morally gray and remind you that even evil people are still people, which is really weird because they do things that dehumanize them. In a way, like Torrance. Torrance gave the orders to kill the people on one of the enemy ships, and he didn't even feel bad about it. Honestly, and he's the one who fucked Aiden up in the first place. Like, nor did he let people in on the fact that if they restarted Aiden up, up, he was probably gonna fucking kill the Hypatia. It was just like, what? Why would you let that not be known? I know he was trying to, that he thought he was doing the right thing, but at the same time he was doing all the wrong things, and it was just like, who is the evil one in this one? Kinda like the first captain of the Hypatia wasn't that bad, but as soon as she was going to negotiate the terms with the Alexander's captain, like Torrance, she got shot, so it's kind of like, okay. Okay, and then we get Boyle. I think her name is Boyle. Boyle, she's like the co-captain, I guess, but we get her, and I think she is the worst captain in this, honestly. Honestly, like, at least whenever the first captain of the Hypatia got the victims of the how do you say that virus, because I don't remember how, but as soon as the virus struck, because there's also a virus on this ship, and this is a really complex story with so many little details. I think it's called the provolone virus. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not gonna use that one. I'm just gonna refer to it as the virus. Because I hate it when I say things wrong. Well, at least the first captain tried to find a cure for it. Like, she literally tried. She just didn't send people out to her doom. And then Boyle takes over, and then she just decides, oh no, I'm not gonna risk the lives of the people on my ship. I'm just gonna send them all out to die. And I was like, what the fuck? Fuck, like, at least the other captain was trying. She was trying to see reason. She was trying to help out because she knew she didn't have a choice. And this other captain just lets them all out to die. And she was gonna, like, destroy the Alexander as well and have Katie help do it. Because she felt like it was a doomed ship. Because most of this virus was happening on the fucking Alexander. And then they infect the Alexander with this virus too, because, you know, Torrance being a fucking idiot. He exposed them to the virus, and it was just, oh my god, it was just like such, like, these bombshells were so freaking cool to read from. Like, okay, and then we got the people on Ezra's ship. Like, I love his, like, the security. Like, I'm gonna say, I love a security camera guy. Like, whoever did the security camera footage, the voice for it is kind of like Scottish or British, or he's got some accent going on, and it was really funny. Like, he would say, oh, Katie's spider monkeying, and then it's like, well, they're fucked. And it was so amazing from, like, the security camera footage. It was just, a security guy was fun. And then, I believe, and then Ezra's friend, I think his name was James, I wanna say, like, just, like, try to remember. Actually what the guy's name was. All I see is Torrance so far, and I'm like, I want to find people on the ship. Yep. Please forgive me, I know it's a... Okay, I can't really find his name in here, but whenever he was funny, and him and Ezra's bantering about just, like, really boyish things, like, what are we doing? Oh, I'm banging your sister. That was hilarious to me. It was all like, I dream about your sister, and then whenever Ezra gives him a picture of Katie, it's like, guess what I'm doing now? I'm doing it. Thanks for the inspiration. And then them calling Katie warrior princess. That was hilarious. Just tell him warrior princess. Princess Azure, and I'm like, oh my god. She actually used the name too. It was so flippin' funny. Funny, and I loved it. I love all the characters in this book. Like, my god, it was just, like, perfect cast. Okay, things I didn't like about this book. But like I said back on my non-spoiler section, I hate how this book is getting so many negative... I hate how this book is getting negative reviews because it's a great story, but not many people like the format, and I was reading and listening to a negative review of this book, and the girl explained that she did not like this book because it was more telling you what was happening instead of just, like, showing you what was happening, and, well, I prefer both methods of reading because a book's a book no matter what. To me, I do understand what viewpoint she's coming from. Like, that's why I'm so glad I had the audiobook, because if I did not have the audiobook, I would have just dismissed this, like, amazing story. And I just felt like it was just, like, the best thing ever, honestly. But I feel like this book is really slow-paced, especially if you're reading through this one, which is really weird for a book to feel slow-paced when you're reading it in email format. But God, it was a long book, and then the halfway point, there was a lot of points during this book where I thought it could have ended there and it would still been a great story. And I didn't know exactly where it was gonna head, which was also the best part of the book, but it also really suffered from that in some parts. Some parts where it's just like, okay guys, it's getting kind of like, why are you doing this? What's the main point? And then they get to the main point and all these tiny little stories get together in a huge way, and then I'm like, okay, now I get it. But for people who DNF books, they wouldn't get why the format was like that, and I totally understand that. It's just, I feel like it really suffers through this format, but this book is really, really great. It feels like, I know that this book is getting optioned for a movie, and one of the producers on it is Brad Pitt. Like, I'm like, really? Brad Pitt produces movies? I did not know that. So I feel like Brad Pitt would not invest his time in a book that was bad. So we'll see. I mostly feel like I love this book because of how it was dealt within the audiobook instead of the visual book, but I did love following along in the visual book while the audiobook was in my ears, because I felt like I could follow along with it, and this is just such an amazing way to do it. So if you have the audiobook and you have the physical book, I would also suggest reading along with the audiobook, because it's an amazing experience. And you could actually look at the pretty pictures and see actually what they're saying instead of just, flipping the book in all different directions to try to read what it's actually saying. Because books that are in that script do suffer from having to literally physically move the book every which way just to read it. And well, it's a cool concept. It can be really annoying at times. So things I loved about this book. I love a lot of things about this book. I love the plot. I love the characters. I love the relationship between Ezra and Katie. I love the mini storylines through it. I didn't get the whole woman trying to beg the man to fuck her thing. There was a part of that in there. It was a seducing scene. I didn't get that part all that well. Someone explain the seducing scene to me below. You know which one I'm talking about, but it was just okay. That's really random in this book, but alright. Alright. Okay, saddest scenes. Oh my god, I can't even with the saddest scenes in this book, guys. Okay, first, there's Ezra's dad dying, and while we didn't really know Ezra's dad, it was still sad to see Ezra not coping well with the death of his dad, still referring to his dad in the present tense like he wasn't dead. It was just like, that was emotionally crushing to me. Because there, in the 5 stages of death, there is denial, and Ezra was honestly in the denial stage of his father's death. Because he still had hope. He still had hope, just like Katie had hope for her mother. It was just, oh, and I totally forgot to mention his mother, but I'll go back to that in my favorite scenes, because that was one of my favorite scenes with her in it. But, that was a sad scene. Whenever, Ezra's friend dies, gets, bit or something, I think he gets bit, or no, he doesn't get bit, his stoop gets stabbed, and he's exposed to the virus that's going around, and they have to leave him behind, and that emotionally killed me. And what really got me really sad in this book is whenever Katie found his like recording and she pressed play on it and we got to hear like his will and testament and his last words and how he was thinking about his sibling and his parents and how sorry he was that he couldn't make it and that he disappointed them. Like, that emotionally crushed me, guys. It was just, that was done really well. Like, I was at work listening to this most of the time, and I was telling my coworker, I really hope I don't cry during this book because it's just getting so emotional. For me, it was crazy. That was really sad. Also, with Katie's mother dying, like, she kept on emailing, and I knew for a fact that her mother was dead. I didn't want to believe that her mother was dead, but as soon as the email stopped, and she was saying she was trying to help the people with the virus, I feel like she got infected by the virus, too. And she did. And she did end up dying, and it wasn't really clear to me what she died from. I couldn't remember. I think it was from exposure to the virus because she got exposed to it, and then, of course, that captain didn't want to let anyone with the virus on board, and, you know, Ezra and freaking Katie being apart this whole time, that crushed me, too, like, how much they were saying that they really wanted to be together, and they couldn't wait until it was over to be together, and they were gonna find their way back to each other. Even if some of that was Aiden, it really still made me feel so many emotions. And Aiden, like I think the most intense scenes, though, were in the back up, like, towards the end of the book. Like, another one that got me really emotional, even though I hate Torrance, was whenever, it was Torrance's final moments, and Aiden was about to kill him, and Aiden was telling him, do you want me to tell your family anything? Like that, and to think that Aiden was believing he was doing the right thing, and saying, am I not merciful? First of all, merciful, I'm showing this guy mercy. I'm letting him say what he wants to say to his family before I kill him. And to think he's actually being merciful by doing that shows that Aiden is really, his systems are really fucked up, and he's trying to do the right thing, but he's not actually doing the right thing. And that makes me sad. Sad a lot. Like, that one made me sad. It also, got, whenever Byron, like, her mentor dies in this book, like Katie's mentor, I got upset because we think he's fine because he's just talking normally to Katie, destroying the Alexander because he was trying to stop Aiden. We think he's fine until he turns to Katie and tells her, and then after this, I'm gonna have to kill you too, because we're all doomed. And it was crazy. You know, and I feel like I'm repeating a lot of words. I just really rant and I repeat words. So sorry, guys. For all the, why is she repeating herself, people? It's just, I have a lot of thoughts, and words get jumbled in my mind when I have a lot of thoughts. So, sorry. But, really emotionally crushing is whenever we think that Ezra's dead. Like, I literally bawled at that scene. I didn't want to feel like Ezra was dead in the slightest. But it makes you feel like he's dead because he's nowhere on the ship. We don't know how he got out either. I think he went out with the whole other crews. But Katie would have saw him, so I don't know how he got off the ship. Never really explains how he got off the ship, but we'll let that slide for now. But, just like, so emotionally crushing when Katie just abandons all hope and she agrees to help Aiden if he lets everyone else off the ship, or else they'll all die. And then when we find out that Aiden was actually pretending to be Ezra, that made me feel mad. Because I felt cheated with some of those moments. It was just, why? Why do people do that? I don't get it. And then Katie abandoning all hope because she lost the only person that she feels like she connected with. That was crushing, but still Katie finding it within her to trust Aiden to get her out of that situation crushed me. Like, so many things were so crushing in those last 100 pages of this book. And whenever Aiden goes offline and Katie's about to die multiple ways, it was just, God. And then how creepy is the atmosphere of those infected people? People, like, whenever one of the infected was all going, like, come out wherever you are, little birdie, like, for people who don't listen to the audiobook, that guy was really creepy. That was really well done. Well done. And then, you know, I almost lost it when we thought Katie died too because she got infected with radiation poisoning. And I'm like, no, not Katie. I know the books are told by separate points of view, but no, don't kill her. She's badass, and I feel like I emotionally connected with Katie in like 100 to 200 pages. And I did it for the whole entire book, and it was just, it just, like, her character is so done well. Talk about the epitome of character development in this book. But guys, okay, favorite scenes. I just have so many. Like, Ezra and Katie reuniting at the end, that was one of my favorite scenes. Aiden and Katie's relationship, whenever they're stuck on the ship, the only two soul people on the ship, was one of my favorite parts. There was a lot of tension when the first captain got killed. That's another one of my favorite parts. But I gotta say, if I had to pick my ultimate favorite part of this book, it has definitely gotta be sometime during the last part. I think it's the last couple of pages when Katie is sending off the Illuminae files to the head of biotech, and we find out the big bad is actually Ezra's mother, Leanne. Like, I knew whenever Ezra was talking about Leanne, his mother, Leanne, we knew that she was an evil woman. evil woman, but he never really got into much detail about how she was evil. But we find out that she's the big bad. She's the one who blew up their home planet to cover up something that she did. She did, so, and decided, she's the one who sent the Lincoln out to kill both the refugee ships, and she's the one who started this war in the first place between them, and it was just such a shock to me. I would never expected that Ezra's mother was the one who orchestrated this whole thing. It was just mind-blowing to me, and God, I can't wait to see how big, bad Leanne is, because she feels like she's gonna be a wicked, awesome villain, not even gonna lie. To you guys, but whenever we find out that she was abusive to Ezra, she wasn't even, they never explained that Ezra's mother actually abused him until the very last moments of the book. Like Katie confronting her and saying that Ezra showed her the cigar scars on his arm. That was just horrible. And to think and then she gets all snippy over her, going like your husband moved to another planet to get away from you. And I love Katie. Whenever she totally basically tells Ezra's mother to fuck off, is pretty intriguing. And oh my god, whenever Leanne's all like, "Where's my son?" and Katie's just all like, "Oh, he's safe with me," and she won't tell her the location. So how do you expect to defeat me when Aiden's dead? It's all like, "Oh, I didn't tell you, I saved a scrap of him, so we're gonna rebuild him again." So basically just telling her she's fucked. And I'm gonna binge read this. I'm gonna try to get to Obsidio as fast as I can. Because I feel like this battle is just gonna be a super epic battle. I'm just gonna be so amazing. Okay, guys, that was it. That was my spoiler-filled thoughts on Illuminae by Amie Kaufman and Kristoff. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of this book, and also, who is your favorite character in this story? And mine has definitely got to be Katie. I love her to pieces. But let me comment down below and let me know. And next up, I will try to review Gemini for you guys. Not even to lie, this book is so pretty, and I have a candle that matches it, so that's fun. But I will see you guys in my next spoiler-filled video for these lovely books. Alright, bye!